Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I've recorded something on this channel in particular, but I will be covering this topic on this author here, Amelie Zhao. To be honest, as a aspiring author myself, this kind of pisses me off. So to give cut a long story short, basically what happened is, there we go. Yeah, author forced to cancel fantasy novel after enslaved princess. A black person needs to write this apparently, because apparently slavery, only black people can write about it, ignoring the fact that fantasy and slavery, they sort of, well, they don't necessarily go hand in hand, but they are, a lot of fantasy series have slavery in it. So we'll read it here. A tweet pinned by her profile. Apologize for her work. Yeah. Because apparently, narrative of slavery in the United States, I don't know why she wouldn't be able to, but let's just read it here. Had looked at host become break. Yep. So basically her book seemed decent. The synopsis I quite liked. See, she's all happy. Going to be a published author, $500,000 book deal. Yep, there you go. Takes place in a fictional empire where a group of powerful people with affinities are feared and enslaved. So the way I see this, it's like in Wheel of Time with the channelers being enslaved by the Saunchin. Nothing. It's not like it hasn't been done before. Dragon Age did it as well for the Qunari enslaving their mages. Yeah, of course, this being YA, everything's to do with social justice. Call for social justice informed by her own immigrant story. Born in Paris, raised in a multicultural community in Beijing, she immigrated to China when she was 18 years old, according to her website. It's a foreigner. Yep, she goes on, and here's her apology. So, to the book community, I want to start by saying that I have utmost respect for your voices. That's her first problem, and I'm listening. I am grateful for those who have raised questions about representation, coding, and themes in my book. I immigrated from China when I was 18, during my own multicultural upbringing and the complex history of my heritage that has intricacies and biases of oppression. I wrote Blood here from my immediate cultural perspective. The issues around indictment, that's the word, in the story represents a specific cliche of the epidemic of indentured labor and human trafficking prevalent in many industries across Asia, including in my own home country. The narrative and history of slavery in the United States is not something I can, would, or intend to write, but I recognize that I am not writing merely to my own cultural context, so I'm sorry for the pain that this has caused. I don't see why anybody would actually be offended. It's all faux outrage. I don't see why anyone would actually care about this. As I see it, slavery is something incredibly common, and it's not like you can't write about something you haven't experienced. Like, the whole idea that authors should only write from experience is pure bullshit. The entire fantasy genre is writing about things you have not experienced. Nobody can cast magic. None of us live in a medieval style setting. We're simply imagining what that would be like. So I don't ever understand this mentality that people seem to have. I don't get it. It's a fantasy book. And yeah, they can touch on real issues, as she's said here. She's going on about how, from her culture, they have a problem with human trafficking and indentured labor, and that's what she's writing about. So I don't get. It's another thing I don't get. She's not writing about black slavery in the USA, and even if she was, she could. It's been, people have written about slavery before. Anyway, it was never my intention to harm to any reader of this valued community. particularly those I seek to write and empower. As such, I have decided to ask my publisher not to publish Bloody Air at this time, and have agreed that I don't clarify, defend, or have anyone defend me. This is not that. This is an apology. Well, I'm going to defend you because you won't defend yourself, apparently. Yeah, so she sent out review copies. The book has been, had a 4.5-star rating on Goodreads, so that's pretty good. Well, obviously it's maxed 5, but Sanctuary Summary has been to denounce the story for its racist depiction of slavery. Unfucking likely. Yeah, you're just seeing racism where none exists, most likely. How's nobody mentioning the anti-blackness and blatant bigotry of the book? Because there is no anti-blackness or blatant bigotry in this book. It's a book about slavery and false oppression narrative that equates having legitimately dangerous magical powers that kill people with being an oppressed minority. Well, I mean, I haven't read the book, obviously, because, she's not going to publish it now. But, I would have liked to have been able to read the book and see my own opinion on it. But from what I can tell, it's basically the same, as I said. It's the same thing with Wheel of Time and Dragon Age. They both did that. So, see if there's any more. Yeah, so narrative, but it's not something I can... Yeah, okay, we've already read that. You call it distasteful? No, it's fucking not. Yeah, no, fuck off. It's not distasteful. It's almost cliche. Yeah, so what should I say? This is the last thing I say about the bloody situation. I get that writing fantasy can be fun because you get to create worlds and cultures that so like, but for something so resembles cattle slavery, that resembles cattle slavery so closely is distasteful. I fucking disagree with you. Fuck you. Yeah. So journalist, an article. Yeah, so here's the. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. She's been terrorized into self-flagellation. Yeah. Unlike actual males, mob can't beat or maim people or trash their positions, but when they have social power to coerce self-censorship and groveling apologies, our freedom is diminished. It's true. I highly doubt anything about this was offensive or hasn't been done before. And there's probably situations like Dragon Age is often sort of praised for being, like, rather woke, I guess, and rather SJW friendly. But as I said, I don't see how that is different. This is different from the mages with the Qunari. What the fuck is the difference? Anyway, let's see. Suggest that I don't believe myself to YR's community. Yeah, well, of course it does. The YR community is bloody fucking cancer. Yeah, okay. This is it. Well, you Fletcher. Yeah, it's just going on about Hollywood now. Alright, let's close this one. Yeah, you fuck off. So this is I haven't seen this one. American Conservative. So same topic. I keep talking about how the West swiftly moving into a culture that resembles communist totalitarianism. I would agree in somewhat. Yeah, they did rely on ostracization a lot, and that is something that this is. This is based on what people grew up under colonialism. Tell me, it's not about good see place. It's about building a post-liberal culture defined by militant progressive ideology and by forcing it by destroying personality and professionality. Those who detest part of this. Yep, that sounds about right to me. So, yeah, whose debut sci-fi / fantasy novel Black Hole set to release in June. A publication 3-book deal. Classic YA, be forced to write 3 books, but let's see. Yeah, see here, she's all happy. She's all her dreams. It seems like dreams to me, literally dreams. Words which I could reach, but never even hope could achieve. Cross that yawning abyss in between, wishes from a higher star in the skylit, which I could only gaze and gaze and gaze until last month. I don't think it's sunk in until this very moment when I sat down to write this post that I'm going to be a published author. I'm going to be a published author. Yeah, on a recent Skype session with my parents, my mother told me in tears that when I was 8 years old, I said to her one day, "Mum, I want to be an author." She just sat me down and told me the reality, so few authors make it, and few still make it big. Yeah, that's true, and many still struggle on in pursuit of their dream. That I have decided that whether I want to live a life of comfort, one that my parents have gifted me, or a life of uncertainty, potential financial distress, and very potentially never having my book see the light of day, I chose that for my entire life. I have prepared myself to a career in finance, telling myself it was more realistic choice that success stories for authors came true once in a blue moon, and that dreams were something that only Cinderella's fairy godmother could grant her a wave of her hand. Past 2 months, I could not have been proven more wrong. For my success with the DV pit to get my dream agent to my submissions process, I hardly a cry, but I'm tearing up as I write because it has been 3 months in which every single day I've literally seen myself and my book take one step another closer towards catching the bright star of my dreams. I've kept writing my dream in secret my entire life. Less than 10 people knew I was working towards finishing a book for most of 2017 until I joined Twitter. Most of my friends are in finance or in a non-book world, so they respected my dream, but it was quickly put to the back of their minds just because it was such a far off, distant, unthinkable dream that was completely galactically out of my life. Even my boyfriend, the love of my life, had moments where he forgot that my lifelong dream was to publish a book. Despite all that, despite the fact that 3 people had read my work ever, I kept on going, and now I've reached the stars. So you, yes you, the one reading this, and you had a lifelong dream, a passion that burns the fire within you, and remember this story. Just 1 year ago, I was questioning everything I had ever dreamed. I was wondering wondering what if everything I'd been working towards and reaching towards was hopeless after all. But I had this passion blazing within me, a brighter than the fire of the stars, and I knew that I could not live a life without trying to reach those stars. But now I'm allowing myself peace of mind after countless years of honing my craft and quietly smithing my words with no recognition. I have reached stars. Don't give up. So, yeah, you can clearly tell she's ecstatic. She's absolutely happy to finally get her book published that she had been slaving on secretly with no one knowing. Yeah, and guess what? The book had a positive pub. Got it one of the most anticipated YA releases of the year. It had been subject of mass social warrior pile on. Yeah, of course it has. Street. Well, you know what? Let's go see what this Twitter account is about. Yeah. Fiction. Twitter is insanely toxic. Yeah, it is. Broken internet social culture. Now it's going after apparently talented debut author. Things are getting out of control, and I want to shine light on the record. You know what? Oh, right, this isn't my. I'm not actually logged in here yet. Okay, I'm going to post this up on my Twitter quickly. One moment, peoples. Da da da. Like and retweet. There we go. So back. Okay. Yeah, one tendency in the community, and like music, is to target people who achieve a certain level of success. In this case, people seem to be attempting to torpedo Amelies, Zhao, and her, I am told, buzzed about debut book, but yeah, coming out this summer, I was tipped. 3. After what looked like the start of a whisper campaign last week, I have myself been hit with stuff like this, and always took it the same way. It's just really, and it looks the same way too. Just really vague and rumory, with no verifiable details, designed simply to spread slime about someone across the internet here. Yeah, so I have nothing to lose by it, and I have the time. I'll tell you which 90 according to Whisper Network, has gathering screenshots of people who didn't like her book and giving off Catherine Hale vibes. Who's that? I already forgot what it was. Lean. Was it Vale or Vale? Hale. Who is Catherine Hale? So, okay. Oh wow, she old. Da da da. I don't get it. Oh well, I don't get it, but okay, readers should be aware for your own protection. Yeah, Zhao was accused of gathering screenshots. Okay, 5 days later, things have escalated. People seem to be attacking Zhao in her book from any possible angle, and yeah, hard to find any faults. Yeah, of course. The book's not even out yet, and the few people who did seem to read it seem to like it, apart from one person who has their own head up their own ass. But okay, people are making out to be, in part because hardly anyone has read it. There are advanced reader copies out there, but a lot of people seem to be of his place zero knowledge. Yeah, that's what it seems to be. Okay. Okay. Ah, fuck off. Yeah, fuck you. Okay. Okay, character people saying is black and on the basis of the assumption accusing Zhao of treating her in a problematic way, but the characters can color as though as tawny and bronze, which definitely does not translate directly to blacky, even in that sense. Yeah, that would be more like Mediterranean appearance. Assuming they accuse the author of racism because what happens to a dark-skinned character in a fictional setting, people are running that it sounds racist because of what happens to a black character who doesn't sound like she's black. It's so what if something happens to a black character and that's happening. I don't get that. So when you write a black character, nothing bad can happen to them whilst you're racist? That's fucking stupid. And we're close to picking up that, but yeah. I tend to go, we've reached the point where fairly big and influential names in the community are piling up on Zhao just to show, yeah, so one person, why does a black girl have blue eyes? Because she's fucking not black. On the third spinning down, I showed. She never learned how. Alright, let's go back. Anyway, 10 to the right side of this. Although sometimes whoops and their call out itself is problematic, a bunch of people haven't even read the book and now know that it's racist and that she attempted to harass her critics because she rumored to have gathered screenshots, question mark, yeah, and so on. I hate, yeah. Alright, 11, these kinds of pylons, they are deeply unfair to the target. Maybe there are fair critics of Zhao's book. Maybe when people actually read it, they'll have legitimate reasons to get mad. But this smells like half a dozen other dysfunctional YA Twitter blowouts that are way more about terrible online dynamics, including the inability of anyone to say slow down without themselves getting tarred as bigoted, and rumors snowballing the actual principal concerns with the work in literature in question. People should slow down and take a breath. Agreed. breathe and realize that social media does to the human brain. And yes, I realize that by tweeting screenshots, there is a chance that people will be mean to the people, being mean to blah blah blah. I don't know a way around that. I blacked out the smaller accounts. I just think in situations like this, it's important to stand up for the person being attacked, even in a small way, and especially when few in their community will do so publicly. Jesus, this is long 15. How this works. Screencap is YA author. A bunch of successful authors team up to try kneecap a debut author's career with baseless accusations and rumor mongering. I point this out and say it's bad. Now I, not they, am a person committing an act of harassment. The widow of bigots, Jay-Z Seagal, and Carp, jeez, I'm not going to say it, Risencrouch, have joined up to harass Ellie on words, and Ellie, L-O-L-E-O, point out they are racism, so just another day in YA. Yeah, no, fuck you too. Yeah, if you make the mistake of engaging with these awful SJ-orientated communities, then you got to recognize that the full call-out their own harassment is an act of harassment. Oh, look, it's an SJW. Mind your own business, not screen capping people you've blocked. You look more like a coward nobody is interested in. Like, who cares? Yeah, no, fuck yous. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't happen like 2 years ago. It never stopped happening. Yeah, this is a sequel. Ah, Kathy Young, I know that person. Isn't she like a... Yeah, I can't remember her. I know the name though. I got my movie right. Yeah, see. Actually, Sharon Wilson. Yeah. Yeah, it's shit. Oh, that's I'm probably not gonna bother. Yeah. I stopped reading YA because despite the general label, some of it is actually good. But it's because fully, yes, it won't feel bad progresses, blah blah blah. Yeah, kind of is the point. They're just blowing somebody out because they want. Yeah, they're just blowing somebody to pieces because they want to feel good about their identity politics. And they just want to hate someone for no reason. Yeah. What? I don't know who they are, so, oh well. Kind of be a nightmare then series that's largely to provide dull, playing underdog stories. Yeah. Mature widows, why would. Yeah. Yeah, alright, now let's move on to the next one. Go away. I think this is just more of the same. There's one which has her apology, but I think I've actually read that. Yeah, so I've read that already. So let's get on to this one. This will be bloody flatline. Yes, he's loud. To the book community, go fuck yourself. An anti-apology, much needed. Let's actually get down to the anti-apology. Oh well, that's actually not far off. So yeah, there you go. He just posted to this. Basically, an internet-led modern social justice hounded an author into not publishing a book. They browbeat her, they slammed her into compliance, and now she's pulled her book, apologizing even though she's done nothing wrong and begged for forgiveness. Seriously, read those excerpts from her blog. Yeah, she talked about her hopes and dreams and artistic vision, and then read about how they got crushed in the name of social justice. Yeah, it fucks me off too. As an author, this makes me want to vomit. Yeah, same here. Press shares why I've always been loud and same with that. Yep. And later to the book community. To the book community, go fuck yourself. You people aren't a community. You're fucking cancer. People like people who like to read books, that's a book community. Bullies who exist in a perpetual state of being offended, eager to silence artists, you're scum. If you had an ounce of self-awareness, you would be ashamed of yourself, but you don't, so instead you pat yourself on the back for ruining yet another artist's career, for silencing yet another voice, for crushing more dreams. Fuck you, fuck your feelings, and fuck your ridiculous claims. Fuck your perpetual offense. Take your smug, entitled ignorance and cram it up your ass sideways, you worthless sacks of crap. You goose-stepping morons should try reading some books instead of burning them. People wonder why I often frisk the bad social justice writing advice articles from places like HuffPo and Tor. These articles are always, don't do this, don't do that. Write the way we tell you or else. They're fucking bullshit. These are maggots festering on dinosaur carcasses of mainstream publishing. I frisk those bad advice articles because if I can save a single young aspiring author from falling into your wretched soul-crushing trap, it was totally worth it. My goal is to expose your con, to show your gatekeepers are nutless humps. That's an interesting insult. And your outrage of the day is told by an idiot full of sound and fury, but significant. I hate when signifying nothing. Thankful lots of people have caught on. They learned that bullies are only a powerful when you allow them to. Sadly, it looks like Zhao never caught on. She let you assholes ruin her dream. You create nothing, you only destroy. You're miserable failures. And like the demons of C.S. Lewis, your misery makes you want to drag everyone else too. You give 1-star reviews to books which haven't come out yet, which tell us more about your weird personal issues and neurosis than they do about the book you're supposedly reviewing. You get away with this abusive shit only because most artists are sensitive, caring types. They don't want to offend people. They don't want to hurt their feelings. You lie to them, manipulate them. You don't care about their art. You don't care about entertaining people. You don't care about kids reading or people enjoying themselves, or even a group you're supposedly championing today. You only care about control. That's why your rules are so illogical. You need people to break them. Your rules are nonsensical gibberish that change by day. That way, even people trying to placard you, it doesn't matter, because they just find something else to be offended by instead. Fuck you, you goddamn communist Puritans. The sooner society realizes SJWs are suicidal dead end, like onto the hippies, and everyone starts laughing at you and your child trans, the bit of Larry Correa, I think that's how you guess you'd say it, best-selling novelist who actually makes a good living at this business, unlike you useless parasites. P.S. Go back to Goodreads and give me another 1-star review, you fucking mopes. Each time you do it, I sell more books to actual decent human beings who are sick of your shit. And I'm going to end it there. That's basically how I feel. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, subscribe, and share, and so on and so forth. And we'll see you all again next time. Have a great day. Bye. Stop streaming.